want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet who I think can do some good.
They're bad guys.
Exactly.
So we just got done watching the Suicide Squad trailer.
Yeah.
Because they finally released it. And a lot of people are upset. I just got back from Comic-Con. A lot of people are upset about videos that they didn't show, that they held behind closed doors at Comic-Con. And I see a lot of people frustrated, asking, why don't they stream these things? You know, they stream press conferences. Why don't they stream stuff for movies? And I know we're not movietrailers.com, but we are a trailer website. I love trailers. I was at Comic-Con. I did miss like a lot of these panels. I'm still kicking myself I didn't go to Star Wars. Like, that was clearly the panel to go to. But I want to talk about why they hold these back and why it sucks. And yeah, maybe they could, you know, do better in the long run by possibly streaming some of these events. But it's not irrational. It's not ridiculous. Like, there is a method to their madness. The current count, by the way, I wanted to make sure noting of this. Suicide Squad has come out. Batman vs. Superman has come out. You can see that trailer on YouTube. And Episode 7 had an awesome documentary that you can check out. X-Men Apocalypse and Deadpool are still behind closed doors. We still haven't seen those. So first of all, I think it's the double trend play. So if you, like, for example, Monday we're talking about Suicide Squad, and that came out on Saturday, I believe, was their panel. And so that's 2 days that they were able to like possibly trend, to get their headline out there and get people talking about Suicide Squad. If they do it on Saturday, everyone's talking about everything on Saturday. Like, even just going to panels is brutal because there's like I want to say 8, but there's like a joke, and there's like 20 or something happening at any given time. Not to mention events, not to mention like other people out in San Diego that are doing special things. So your attention is just scattershot all over the place. Whereas Monday, everybody's back to work. Okay, like, what am I going to do today? And then, bam, Suicide Squad trailer. And you're like, oh, yeah, we finally get to see this thing. And then they don't have to compete with anybody because they get their own little moment, like, for that 2 hours out of that workday. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have never been bombarded with so much news in my entire life than this weekend. There was too much. I missed so many things. Like, even Suicide Squad today came out, and I was like, wait, what? It's out? The trailer's out? I had no idea. There's just way too much. So I appreciate that they're, like, kind of staggering that out.
Like, when I saw the Episode 7 documentary, I watched it on my phone with headphones in the hall, and I was like halfway through it, and the guy's like, you can't stand here, you got to keep moving. And I'm like, I gave the guy a look like, you don't understand, man. Like, I'm having an emotional moment right now. So there's never a good time. Like, the best time is when you can sit down at your desk, you know, at the office or at home, put some headphones on, take a break, and just, like, you know, get a conversation going about that. So yeah, so I call it the double trend play because it's like they got it. They want to try to trend twice. You know, you get that one moment. Same thing as E3. The other thing too, and this is kind of a dodgy subject because we were talking about before, like being the feeling of being entitled, the feeling you know must be nice.
Yeah.
You know that like you basically respect your audience. Like you respect the people that got to go to Comic-Con. And we were talking about, like, yeah, well, you can spend all this money, or you can be a celebrity, you can be in press, or you can be in the industry, like either just an exhibitor or working on that event, to get in there and do this. But at the same time, the roughest stuff, like this is all Hall H. Have you guys been to Comic-Con?
No. Never been.
Hall H is pain. Like, there's no way, unless you have some secret pass or you can sneak in. I think, like, Infinity one year, it was like Anime Expo or something. There's one random Infinity thing that I actually got in the back door at a panel. They actually went there and they were like, oh, hey, come in with us and then we'll get you something front seat. Every other panel I've ever been to, and I think Deus Ex, they asked if I could get there and I didn't have time for it. But like, actually getting to those panels is so brutal. So it's like, it's not like these people going to these shows are entitled. They're in sleeping bags at 2 in the morning out in front of the convention center. And they get there and it's like, I just think they should own that. Like, let those people own that for 24, 48 hours to like have been there at that pivotal event.
Well, for the panels, that's the biggest thing because like those people, they get to be there. They get to see freaking Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher come out and talk about Star Wars. Like, they have that. No one else has that. That is emotional. They get the right to do that. But what about all the billions of Star Wars fans out there, the billions of people who worship Star Wars, who dream about Star Wars on a daily basis? They're not allowed to just like watch that panel? They should have the right to experience that as well, because they're not taking anything away from the people that are there, because they're there, they get to experience it. They get to see them right there. Right. And then everyone at home, you know, that doesn't have the resources to get out there should just be able to watch that panel. And you can even do a pay-per-view if you wanted to. You could charge like, okay, here's a $30 all-access stream pass.
Oh, like what they do for BlizzCon and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, the BlizzCon did the same thing.
Well, they did that at Celebration, so there is an interesting line, like when, you know, they released the first trailer and BB-8 came like rolling out on stage. Like when they had that event, everybody could see that live. Like everybody was there at the same time. So yeah, I mean, if you actually went to this event, if you got into something exclusive, like you wouldn't feel bummed at all if like that had gotten.
I want everyone to experience it. I want the whole world to be able to take part in that. It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like such a communal family vibe of just everyone loves Star Wars. Everyone should be able to just like be in that moment together.
Being there is definitely a lot more special than watching it through a screen. Like think of like watching like a sport event or something. Like being there at the game.
Being at the World Series or watching it on TV is
completely different.
Maybe one of the things I can think of is that like you'd have to really set up the video tech in order to make that happen, in order to get like all the equipment in there to actually broadcast it. And then what do you can't like just shut it down and turn the cameras around when another panel comes in immediately after that and they're like, we don't want to stream that, you know, like this is a private event. We are showing stuff that's like not ready, you know, this isn't something, you know, and because I think that's why Batman vs. Superman in episode 7 came to party, because they were ready, you know, they planned that, they had that video. That was clearly like not a trailer that somebody, I think the Deadpool trailer, from what I could tell, featured a lot of stuff that was in a demo like years ago. So like, I think they just kind of put it together to be exciting and to make their fans excited. But like, they're like, this video we don't want to use to actually sell the movie. The guy's dropping F-bombs. Like, you're not going to see this. This is not going to be the first Deadpool trailer.
For certain events, I think it makes more sense to like show it on stream. Like if they showed Star Wars on the stream, because that's like, they have stuff to show like that they're willing to show people. Like the Deadpool kind of thing was more like a sneak peek kind of had a thing. Like you don't have to stream every conference, I think. Even if they just stream like the big ones like Superman or I mean like Batman vs. Superman or like Game of Thrones would help a lot.
Because I remember last year they had the Batman vs. Superman tease, and that somehow, I mean, it got leaked a little bit, but it was under wraps.
It was so funny too, because like it begins with the you know, it's like his statue. It says like false god on his chest, and like it's really blurry version. So like the strobe lights hit it, and you're like,
what?
The one where you know Batman like takes the thing off and shines it at him, and that was like that tease, and that was never released online, HD or anything.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. I get it that, you know, they got out there, and that is cool and a nice special treat to make that feel even better for those people that are there. But, you know, I feel like media and comics and all this stuff, like this is a shared experience. Like everyone should be able to take part in this.
Well, and that brings me to another point, which is, you know, like we go see a demo at E3, and you go see something like Dark Souls, which like a lot of people got to play now, that was only playable to a very select few at E3 that people got to finally get their hands on at Comic-Con. And
wait, hold on, people got to
Dark
play
Souls
that Comic-Con?
Comic-Con?
Yeah, Dark Souls was Comic-Con.
What? Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Dude, what?
But it's just a matter of time. Like, it just wasn't, you know, like now it's ready. Like now we've got it to a point, we got this demo to a point where like more people can get their hands on it. But even just Dark Souls is like, this is, I mean, we got Ian in the room. Like this is at minimum a 40-hour experience, every Dark Souls game. You know, like, you know, even if you literally, but I mean, even if you just, I'm fine skipping bosses, whatever, I don't care. Like if I miss some cinema that unlocks or whatever, I don't care. I'm just traditional gameplay experience, two credits, massive experience, where it's like Batman vs. Superman is going to be like 2 hours, you know, so like, their ratio of the stuff that they can show is a lot smaller. So when you're preparing stuff for Comic-Con and you have these multiple revision phases that go into an official trailer, and you don't have time for that, and you're just like, well, we got to show something because we want them to be excited. Like, I saw the first episode of the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series. And like, I like that no one's seen that yet. It was cool, and then you could get the vibe that they liked it too. That they're like, we have a whole rollout that we want to do. We're gonna have all these videos that like reintroduce you to Rocket Raccoon and Groot and all of these people, and then we're gonna have a special one-night event that we want everybody to get excited about. We're gonna show the first 2 episodes back to back. But for you people who were nice enough, and all of this, you know, Lucasfilm, you know, Legendary Pictures, Warcraft, Star Wars, to come here and see this thing, we're gonna show you the first pilot. Please don't spoil it. You know, and so like, I do appreciate when people are like, okay, I'll enjoy. As you said, inclusive. Like, I think that the people in that room and everybody else, I think there is a difference. Like, there is a difference between those people that were there. You know, that were like, we were here for this event, and so like, I really don't see a crime in like splitting that up. Depending on how you want to do it. Like Batman vs. Superman they didn't care. Like episode 7, like they showed that. But I think if people want to hold stuff back, it's not. it's not like they're being cruel or something. It's
Yeah.
because they want to be able to control the way that that people get exposed to this movie or this game. And I just find it funny that people get that they then turn on the people that are making it by being like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And it's like,
do you think they could do like a stream, like a BlizzCon style? You know, because what if someone was super into Guardians of the Galaxy, couldn't make it out to Comic-Con, wanted to be a part of that as well? Online ticket, $15, $20.
I think you would really have to own that event. I think it would cost a lot more to bring the equipment, because it's not something like Comic-Con would be like, oh, just use the camera that's in the room. It's like you'd have to,
logistically, okay, I get it.
Or you'd have to be off-site. You'd have to do something like Geek and Sundry did, where like they had their own thing at Petco Park, so you'd have to like have your own inclusive thing.
I mean, we're in 2015. We're streaming. We got technology. I don't think it'd be.
I think it's going to go that way eventually, though. Anyways.
Oh sure, yeah. Not to mention people, are streaming like, when we get like a chip you can put in like your eyebrow that records it in like 1080p. You know what I mean? Like it's over. There's like nothing people can do. Although I'm surprised they haven't had technology like projector LED plasma technology, something that can't be photographed. You literally like point a recording image at it, and it's like only an eyeball can see this.
Some Batman gadget.
Whoa,
yeah, exactly. Again, the future, 2015. I want to see them do that. Or maybe they hand out glasses, like 3D glasses, to everyone that's there, and it's like you have to wear these to even see what's happening. So you can't, like, if they showed something in 3D, then like it'd be blurry, it'd be a mess. Cool. There's no point in recording it. One last final thing. What if you're sitting next to that guy who's like just crazy trying to like actually record this and has like the light on from his camera? And you're like, dude, I'm trying to, I'm here. I waited in line all night. I'm trying to watch this thing.
That would bug me.
And then this guy next to me's got his iPad out, like being all sneaky, and just like, or even worse, gets caught, and so then like security's got to come up and remove it, and it's like,
you don't even want to get me started on people talking during movies or any kind of event like that. It puts me on edge.
Yeah, can you imagine some dickhead just stands up in front of you and just filming it? You're like, dude, I'm trying to see here.
So that's my last and final point. But you obviously you're a hype machine, Huber. So I'm just fascinated with the concept of like how you can hype people up, and part of hype is anticipation. It's like Shenmue wouldn't have hit if you hadn't to wait for so long. So people got to wait 48 hours and they're complaining. It's
as long as like. For me, the biggest thing are the panels as well. I would really like to be able to be a part of that live without logistically going to Comic-Con. I would have loved to have watched the Star Wars panel live. I mean, I can't even imagine how electric or emotional that was.
Right.
So that's the only thing that bugs me.
They might as well. How many people film that on their own anyways?
I know.
They could just be making money doing that.
Yeah. It's a tough call. I'm actually curious what you guys think too. So leave your comments in there. Of course, a lot of people are talking about this until we get the conversation will be over when we get X-Men Apocalypse and Deadpool trailers, and it's like, okay, now we'll just wait for the next for New York Comic Con. But thank you for the conversation, gents.
Pleasure.